I mean, this is coming from a guy who posted this on his Truth Social over the weekend, and this is basically supposed to be his platform. Now, Joe Biden had one, but Joe Biden didn't post it, and the reason why is because Joe Biden could give a shit less what the internet says about him.
Because Joe Biden's
he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck about what the internet says about him. He's just going to go do his job. He's going to put his shoes on and do his job. And I think that's the whole point here at the end of the day is because, and I want to see what your opinion is on this 14th Amendment shit, because mine is very unpopular in our circles. Because I think it's all bullshit and we should stop doing that stuff because I think it's a waste of energy, it's a waste of time, and the pro-democracy coalition does not need a shiny object to distract from and making sure we slam dunk this guy in the goddamn trash. That's my opinion. But the thing is that the difference between Biden and Trump is really that Americans are like, Biden's old, so is Trump. Like, Biden has gaffes at the microphone, so does Trump. Like, this is not apples and apples. It's apples and oranges, and it's very easy for Americans to go, I don't really...
Apples and orange-colored diarrhea.
Right. That smells. That smells like Axe body spray and baby shit. And here's the thing, is that at the end of the day, Americans are gonna choose a steady hand, and I keep telling people around me that are considering voting for Trump, I'm like, look, at the end of the day, the other thing that really matters here is that in 2020, one of the reasons why Joe Biden won is because Wall Street backed him, and Wall Street is gonna do that again. They're gonna do that again, and the reason why they're gonna do it again is because they can predict what Joe Biden's going to do.
Yes,
they have no clue
it's sort of like
what
the
Trump's
way
going to do.
Foreign policy establishment, all these old Republican hands who were generals and who were at the Pentagon and whatever, who worked for Reagan, who worked for Bush, so many of them have gotten behind Biden. It's the same thing. Because in the two places, and I'm sure there's others, but the two areas of policy where you really, really want stability and not rash, stupid decisions like, hey, I'm buying Greenland tomorrow, and like that are the economy and foreign policy, because you give the wrong messages in either of those areas and there can be a crash or a war. So, you're exactly right. I mean, there's some exceptions. There's some billionaire idiots who just think that they're safe and they're locked off compounds as if nuclear waste doesn't reach them, but
the oligarchs are sometimes the first ones to go in an authoritarian regime. I hate to break it to the billionaires who think they're safe.
Because Putin killed a bunch of those. I mean, sorry, he didn't kill them. They just got, there were a lot of banana peels on fifth floor hotel balconies. But I mean, in the end, that's what happens, because they're the threats. The people with the kinds of resources that can take you on are threats. I mean, and then even in his rotten hell Christmas message that I found to be very charming and nice. I thought
it was right on point.
Seriously,
dude, you couldn't have made it any easier for us to prove that you're an asshole. Like,
awesome. But even in that, part of what he went off on, was when he was talking about the people up against him, the crazy this, that, with all of his made up words and whatever, was the clean energy nut, the electric car lunatics. And it's like, hey, Elon, you like your new friend? I mean, good pick there. I'm sure he'll love you if he takes over again. And to make his oil friends happy, won't suddenly, I would have, if I were Elon and Trump wins, I would avoid fifth floor hotel balcony.
One more thing that I want to talk to you about, because I seem to have the most unpopular opinion, and I actually don't think it's an unpopular opinion. I actually just think that a lot of people are going with the whole 14th thing, because there's a lot of talking heads out there that talk about the 14th Amendment and they're cheering it on. And I actually think at its core is very undemocratic, and I actually don't believe that's what the 14th section 3 says. Some believe it does, but if you just read it, it's not what it says at all. But here's the case that I want to make, because there's several insurrectionists, January 6ers, who have been to federal prison for trying to overthrow an election on January 6th by going to the Capitol and committing violence, trying to hang the vice president, trying to...
None of them members of Congress, though, by the way, some of whom are pretty obvious conspirators when it comes
Scott
to...
Perry?
I know they have
Excuse me.
his phone, right? I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene gave a speech that's on video that day. Whatever. Go ahead.
Ted Cruz,
Sorry.
Josh Hawley. But here's the thing, is that the thing that I want from the 14th amenders, as I'm calling them now, because it feels like they're trying to do something that is going to be done anyways. Like, just leave it up to the voters. Just trust the voters. I hate Democratic liberal elites who look down on most average working Americans and don't believe that they're going to do. That's right. They're not going to do the right thing. But here's the thing, is that I want the same energy that they are giving for the 14th Amendment for taking Trump off ballots in Michigan or Colorado, whatever states that still remain, because a lot of them dropped their cases. I want them to bring the same energy for the people who are running for city council, for school boards, for state reps. I want them. There's people who are convicted and went to prison for the January 6th insurrection who are running for Congress. I don't know if people know this. And the 14th Amendment people, I think the fucking sheep food for the liberals, where they're feeding sheep food, meaning they're getting everyone's hope up about the 14th Amendment, because it really is hope that they're trying to sell, not the 14th Amendment, because if they really were grounded in the principles of the Constitution, they would be talking every day about all the insurrectionists that are running for all these offices around the country, because there's only one instance outside of Trump, only one that I can find outside of Trump, where this has been done, and his name was Coy Griffin.
Yeah, the one
he was an insurrectionist.
In Otero County.
Yep, and a federal judge said you can't be a county commissioner because you're an insurrectionist, and they took him out of office.
Cowboys for Trump guy.
Yeah, exactly.